Who doesn't want freedom? Anybody? Yeah, exactly. Everybody wants to be free. Do you know where freedom lives? On the other side of fear. Toastmaster of the day, members and guests. I remember that day very clearly. It was the 22nd of November, 2013, and I was terrified. Now, most people are terrified, they get butterflies in their stomach. Me, I had dragons. Big, hairy, fire-breathing dragons deep inside my stomach. Why? I was in a Toastmasters meeting. That's why. And Lester Lynn had come up to me and whispered in my ear, "Hey Paul, tonight you're going to do table topics." I hated public speaking. It was my deepest fear. I remember sitting there with my mother, all through the speeches, speaker 1, speaker 2, speaker 3, just thinking, how can I escape? There was no escape. We get to intermission and I think I can run outside with my escape, but I can't leave my mother behind. What do you mean? After intermission, we go into table topics. Now the theme of the meeting was courage. How appropriate. And I spent the whole meeting trying to think of a speech about courage. And the question, when was courage stupid? My answer could not fit that question. So I had to come up with a completely new answer. And I did. And that night, I won my very first Table Topics award for the night. Yay! And 2 months later, I joined TGIF. 2 years later, I entered the international speech competition. Was here in Taipei. And somehow I got to the final with a speech called Let It Go. Unlike the Table Topics speech, the dragon in my stomach wasn't so big. It was kind of smaller, but the dragon was still there. I remember walking up to just before the final contest, and I see the giants of Toastmasters. If you have been in Toastmasters for a while, you know these names. Diana Watson, Josh Myers, Hai Shuo Li, all champions. And there's Paul, terrified, dragons breathing fire. I remember standing there, and I must have looked nervous because there was a Toastmaster from Hong Kong. She came up to me and she asked me, "Why are you so nervous, La?" So I'm speaking in front of 500 people. So I'm never nervous, La. That's your problem, not mine. I remember them calling me on the stage. Contestant number 5, Paul Sharp. Let It Go. I cannot remember anything about that speech, except that I sang Let It Go in the beginning. I'm convinced that's why I lost. If you've heard me sing in this club, it's a miracle you're still here. Singing is not my strength. But for those 7 minutes, I cannot remember anything except the fear that was overwhelming me. And I remember walking off the stage, going back to my seat, and Josh Myers looked at me, shook my hand, and said, "Tough topic." The only person who believed in me, not even my president, Lester Lynn, believed in me. The only person who whispered in my ear was Sherry Lee, our area director. She said, Paul, I think you won." So really? I don't think so. They start to call out the results. 3rd place, Hai Shuo Li. 2nd place, Diana Watson, Josh Myers. And then Sherry's whispering in my ear, Paul, you've won. 1st place, Diana Watson. I was so angry because Sherry Lee was whispering. It took Lester 2 long hours in Chile to calm me down. Why, Lester? Why? Oh, it's not your time yet. Why, Lester? They were better than you. Lester, you're my friend. That was a tough day. It took me a while, 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 years to get over it. I did. We get to 4 years later, 2019. I get a message from my president, Jenny. "Paul, you will enter the international speech contest." Okay, The president says, I do. So I enter the international speech contest. I enter the club contest. And Blue Tuna Fish Doug crushes me with a speech called Hercules, about a bird who can't fly. Ridiculous. But anyway, I go to the area contest. Once again, Hercules kind of poops on my head. I lose again. But then Doug gives me a gift. Oh, I can't go to the division contest because I'm going to go to Japan. So I have a way to the final because Hercules is gone. Bye-bye. So I get through the division, I get through the semifinals, and finally I'm in the final of the speech contest. I remember before the speech contest, I'm sitting in a dining room, calming another contestant down. He's terrified. They call us up to go to the stage, and a former champion comes up to me and says, "You already won the evaluation contest. Don't win now." So how rude. My TGIF and Born to Shine family came and they prayed around me. I went to the stage and they call up contestant number 1, Susan Lynn. She forgot her lines. Contestant number 2, Mike Honda. His microphone fell off. Contestant number 3, Philip Werter. He was very nervous on the stage. Contestant number 4, Paul Sharp. How can I help you? I remember walking on that stage after 6 years in Toastmasters, fearless. And in those 7 minutes, I had found freedom. From fear of that table topic speech to freedom on that final stage in Kaohsiung. Freedom. Freedom is on the other side of fear. And in those 7 minutes, I cannot remember seeing people's faces. I just remember the words. I just remember the joy of those 7 minutes. Psychologists talk about the state called flow. I think I was in that state. I don't know what your fears are, but I can tell you, whatever you fear, if you face it, you will find freedom on the other side. Toastmasters Day.